In the summer when he was 18, Cheng Shi received a call from his white moonlight, asking him to go and confess his love. Holding a bouquet of roses, he arrived at the scene, only to find out that it was just a prank from a game of truth or dare. Cheng Shi felt that his youth was shattered on that very day. In the winter when he was 36, an accident took Cheng Shi's life. Looking back on the 7 years he had wasted on his white moonlight, he still couldn't let it go. However, he was reincarnated and went back to that summer when he was 18. In this lifetime, he decided not to be a bootlicker anymore. He regained himself and then encountered a precious girl who was worth cherishing for a lifetime. But just when their relationship was getting better and better, the white moonlight came chasing after him again. Xiao Cheng, why are you ignoring me? Chapter 5, Vivian's smile is so charming. After Cheng Yi got home, he finished washing up in just 5 minutes and entered the bedroom. Instead of going to sleep immediately, he prepared to do a set of comprehensive science papers. Senior year of high school life is really tough. In his previous life, Cheng Yi definitely didn't have such self-discipline. After getting home, he would only hide in the quilt and read novels. Now, Cheng Yi is full of optimistic and positive attitudes towards studying. He thinks that studying is easy to establish positive feedback. As long as you work hard, there will definitely be rewards. Unlike the life of a working person, if you don't work hard, there will be no rewards, and even if you work hard, there is a high probability that there will be none. Cruel and realistic. Halfway through doing the exercises, Yuan Huifang pushed the door open, brought him a bowl of tremella porridge, and put 20 yuan on his desk as his living expenses for the next day. In 2009, the big move of the central government's 4 trillion yuan hadn't officially taken effect yet, and the prices weren't too high. The set meal with 1 meat and 3 vegetables in the school cafeteria was 3 yuan a portion, and a big chicken leg was only 2 yuan and 50 cents. Yuan Huifang gave him 20 yuan every day, which was completely enough. Cheng Yi's family wasn't poor, but it couldn't be called rich either. It was an ordinary dual-income family. His father, Cheng Ji, worked in a steel factory and often worked night shifts, which was very tiring. Yuan Huifang taught in a junior high school. The couple lived frugally and never shortchanged Cheng Yi in terms of material things. Even within their capabilities, they would give him the best. Most of their generation of parents were like this. They didn't have any good ways to express their emotions, but they were used to hiding their love for their children in the little things in life. After finishing the papers, Cheng Yi fell asleep as soon as he lay down. At the age of 18, all his physical indicators were healthy, and he definitely wouldn't have insomnia. He had just closed his eyes when the alarm clock rang. It was already 6:30 the next morning. Cheng Yi got up, quickly got dressed and washed, grabbed the 20 yuan living expenses that Yuan Huifang gave him, and went to school. He didn't rush to school but turned a corner to find Huang Wei. Huang Wei's family runs a breakfast shop. The steamed buns made by Huang Wei's father have thin skins and a lot of filling, are delicious and juicy, and are really good. That's right, Cheng Yi was going to freeload on breakfast. In the past, Cheng Yi basically didn't spend money on breakfast. The money he saved was all spent on chasing Xiaoning. When he arrived at the breakfast shop, Huang Wei's father, who was busy, greeted Cheng Yi enthusiastically and then pointed to a table in the corner. Huang Wei often sat there to have breakfast. There was a cage of small steamed buns, a bowl of millet porridge, and a plate of small pickles beside him, all prepared for Cheng Yi. Huang Wei belonged to the type who hadn't read many books and had the typical shrewdness of a small merchant, but he could still talk with Cheng Yi. Especially Huang Wei's father, he often said a sentence. Cheng Yi was the second young master of their family. Cheng Yi sat down next to Huang Wei and watched the guy who was eating voraciously. He recalled the life trajectory of this guy in the past. Previously, Huang Wei's grades were a little better than his. He was admitted to an ordinary university in the province. After graduation, he didn't take the postgraduate entrance examination and entered a steel mill to work as a blacksmith. The steel industry, well, those who understand it understand. A few years later, the steel industry began to have a serious overcapacity. Huang Wei belonged to the post-90s laid-off group. He couldn't continue working as a blacksmith after just a few years. Later, he changed many jobs one after another and was even almost tricked into doing pyramid schemes. His marriage wasn't very happy either. With his not-so-smart wife, they had small quarrels every 3 days and big quarrels every 5 days, which made Huang Wei bald even before he was 36. But this guy was a stubborn mule. In this life, even when Cheng Yi had a fortune of tens of billions, he still stubbornly refused to accept Cheng Yi's material help. Little Cheng, we grew up together wearing open crotch pants. I only have you as my buddy. You can help me, but once I accept it, our relationship will change. This was what Huang Wei often said. He was always that stupid and clear teenager. Little Cheng, is there a flower on my face? Huang Wei felt uncomfortable being stared at. While eating the steamed buns, Cheng Yi muttered, Huang, if you fall in love in the future, you must let me check it out for you. Little Cheng, you're a bit full of yourself. Let you check it out? Are you my father? Not really. At most, I'm like a godfather. You're my elder brother. We each have our own way of addressing. I call you elder brother, and you call me godfather. There's no conflict. After a few seconds of silence, Wang Wei patiently explained. Little Cheng, I don't think much about falling in love or not. Look at me. My grades aren't the best, I'm not as handsome as you, and my family conditions are just so-so. How could any girl like me? Even for you, the school belle, and Xia, the class flower, I'm afraid even Lu Wenwen wouldn't even look at me directly. Cheng Yi was surprised. My brother Huang is quite clear-headed. Then how did he fall into the pit later? Brother Huang, you have such a clear self-awareness. I'm really glad. A dog's mouth can't spit out ivory. Can't you comfort me a little? Okay, Cheng Yi smiled. Brother Huang, your grades are ordinary, your job is ordinary, your height is ordinary, you're not smart, not excellent, and not ambitious. It doesn't matter. But... He lengthened his tone. Wang Wei looked at him eagerly, thinking that what Cheng Yi was going to say must be words of encouragement for him. He was ready. Drink up this bowl of chicken soup. Let's go. Cheng Yi also pointed at himself and said with a serious face, but, I can't. Wang Wei almost spat out blood. Little Cheng, you're really a dog. Just as the early self-study started, the homeroom teacher, Huang Liman, walked into the classroom with a straight face. Huang Liman was in her early 40s. She dressed and her eyes were like a hammer. She looked at everyone as if they were nails. Even for someone like Cheng Yi who had experienced a lot, he would still feel nervous, even a little fear was engraved in his genes. Huang Liman was not only the homeroom teacher of Class 6 but also the deputy director of the senior year office and the leader of the Chinese teaching and research group. She had quite a lot of prestige in the whole grade. As she walked onto the podium, the whole classroom became quiet. She didn't speak immediately but scanned the whole classroom with sharp eyes. During this process, all the students sat upright. At this moment, Cheng Yi knew that this was a means for teacher Huang to manage the class. A more accurate description would probably be a test of obedience. As a senior year homeroom teacher, she didn't need to be friends with the students. Making the students respect and fear her was the way to go. Let me tell you something. Huang Liman said faintly. On Friday and Saturday, that is, this weekend, there will be a diagnostic test, which is also the last citywide unified test before the college entrance examination for the students. Everyone must take it seriously. As if an invisible dark cloud was covering everyone in the classroom. For students, except for those top students who are excellent no matter how they take the test, who isn't afraid of exams. Senior grade 3, class 6 was a liberal arts class. Compared with class 1 and class 2, the two experimental classes, there was no choice not to take the exam at all. Wang Wei was also quite nervous and twisted his butt on the seat. This guy had a bad habit. Whenever he was nervous, he would twist his butt. Actually, this kid was simple-hearted. When it came to being bad, he would definitely be outsmarted. Little Cheng, there's another exam. I have a bad feeling. I'm sure I'll fail this time. After Huang Liman left the classroom, Wang Wei whispered. If you fail, you fail. It's not the college entrance examination. Why are you so nervous? Don't you know? Your grades aren't better than mine either. That was before. I think I've now opened up my governor and conception vessels and am really fierce now. Just keep bragging. Wang Wei rolled his eyes. How about making a bet to see who will do better in the exam? Okay. Whoever wins will be the godfather. That's not fun. I haven't even fallen in love yet, and I'll suddenly have a big son. Wang Wei was full of enthusiasm. Poor brother Huang. Obviously, he hadn't realized that Cheng Yi was a cheat. He was really fierce now. The last class in the afternoon was physical education. Cheng Yi arrived at the cafeteria 10 minutes early. Wang Wei was following behind him. From the second year to the third year of high school, the two of them were always meal buddies. Boss, 2 servings of food. Cheng Yi took out the 20 yuan bill that Yuan Hufang gave him and handed it to Huang Wei. Between him and Huang Wei, there was no such thing as who treated who. Their pocket money was shared. Come to think of it, Cheng Yi had taken quite a lot of advantage from Huang Wei. After all, in the past, most of Cheng Yi's pocket money was spent on Xianing. What the hell are you doing? Huang Wei cursed but still took the money to get the food. Just as brother Huang stepped forward, a tall, sunny and handsome boy sat down next to Cheng Yi. Cheng Yi frowned. Hey, classmate, this seat is taken. The sunny boy also frowned. Classmate? You don't recognize me. Cheng Yi sneered. Are you a celebrity? Why should I recognize you? The sunny boy sneered. Cheng Yi, stop pretending. First of all, we have been in the same class since the second year of high school. Secondly, both of us have served as class committee members for 2 consecutive years and have won the title of outstanding student in the school for 2 consecutive years. We have quite a high popularity in the school. How could you not recognize me? Cheng Yi thought carefully. So it was this guy. This guy's name was Zhou Rui, and he was also an avid pursuer of Xiaoning. Both Cheng Yi and he were lapdogs, but the way they chased was a bit different. Cheng Yi chased after Xiaoning, and from time to time, Xiaoning would give him a sweet, establishing a little positive feedback. As for Zhou Rui, he probably watched too many stupid Korean dramas and was a complete idiot nice guy. Love someone means making her happy, even if the person who makes her happy isn't yourself. This was Zhou the nice guy's life motto, just like a boiling sheep. Cheng Yi glanced at Zhou the idiot. What's up? Cheng Yi, I heard that you made Ning Ning angry. Zhou Rui raised his eyebrows. As a class committee member, you should go and apologize to Ning Ning. After saying that, he took out a 100 yuan bill from his pocket and slapped it on the table. Looking at the pretentious Zhou the warm guy, Cheng Yi couldn't help but laugh. Some high school students really like to imitate adults in speaking and doing things. But, well, they often ended up being a poor imitation. What are you laughing at? Just laughing at you, Cheng Yi rolled his eyes. What does my relationship with Xiaoning have to do with you? You. Zhou Rui's face turned livid. At this time, Huang Wei came over. Cheng Yi waved his hand impatiently. Get out of here, or my brother Huang will bite you. Huang Wei was big and strong. Although he looked like an iron idiot, he was a man of few words and had a very intimidating presence. Haha, I don't want to waste my time with you. Zhou Rui dropped a sentence and then fled in embarrassment, even forgetting the 100 yuan on the table. Typical of being fierce in appearance but cowardly inside, he was really a coward. Actually, he definitely didn't want to be like this. But he thought that with his status as a class committee member and class monitor and a 2-time outstanding student in the school, he couldn't argue with someone like Cheng Yi who was like a hooligan. Little Cheng, why did you say I should bite Zhou Rui, that pretentious guy? Do you think I'm a dog? Huang Wei was quite unhappy. Cheng Yi picked up the 100 yuan bill on the table. Brother Huang, if I say we split this money equally, what would you say? After a few seconds of silence, Huang Wei spat out one word, woof. Cheng Yi sneered. One Zhou the warm guy, one Huang the barker. You two should form a couple. When someone's appearance is so high that it exceeds the threshold, wherever they go, they will be regarded as a beautiful scenery. As soon as UK Wei appeared at the entrance of the cafeteria, the whole cafeteria exploded. Swish. Everyone's eyes were on her. Like all the students in the school, she was also wearing a blue school uniform. Her hair was tied in a low ponytail. Her hair was dark and shiny. Whether it was the quantity or the quality, it was enviable. For most people, wearing a school uniform made them look naughty and mischievous. It was either too long here or too short there. But when UK Wei wore it, it fit perfectly and didn't dare to be unruly at all. Not to mention her appearance. She had a face like a femme fatale, with narrow and charming phoenix eyes. She was truly a beauty like a flower in the mortal world. UK Wei usually didn't come to the cafeteria to eat. The nanny at home would prepare the food in advance and deliver it to school on time. In the eyes of others, she just seemed cold and aloof and didn't fit in with the group. Actually, she also wanted to come to the cafeteria to eat, but she just couldn't muster up the courage. When high school students came to the cafeteria to eat, they would usually have one or several meal buddies. Especially for boarding students, they almost always moved around together. The problem was, UK Wei didn't have any friends. Until she met Cheng Yi, this friend who could talk a lot. Wow, why did you, the school belle, come to the cafeteria to eat? This is big news. I don't know who will be lucky enough to have dinner at the same table with her. With the discussion, almost all the boys were staring at UK Wei. When UK Wei's narrow phoenix eyes glanced at them a little, they would lower their heads. The shy ones would even turn red in the face instantly. This was Yu the Great Beauty. Although she was young, she could use her beauty to her advantage. Over here. Cheng Yi stood up and waved at UK Wei. Others thought that UK Wei was using her beauty to her advantage, but she was actually very nervous when she first entered the cafeteria. With a small straight face, she didn't know what to do. Until she saw Cheng Yi waving at her, the tightly stretched heartstrings suddenly loosened. She walked towards Cheng Yi with big steps. The cold face of the iceberg beauty also showed a smile. The corners of her mouth gradually curved up, looking much gentler and also amazingly beautiful. Wasn't it a mistake? From the second year to the third year of high school, Yu the Great Beauty, who had never smiled in front of others, actually smiled. This scene was like a pleasant spring breeze, blowing over the hearts of everyone present. Vivian's smile was so charming that it could bring down a city. For more exciting content, please listen to the next episode.